Welcome back all, this is Daz from Modern Techniques. So up this week is a little bit of a controversial type topic, artificial intelligence, and I'm going to use that to write me some Arduino sketch. So yes, I do agree it's a very lazy way of doing it, but I've also said during other videos that I've done Arduino, I'm under no illusion that I'm definitely no expert in writing sketches and probably don't really know how to do it to the nth degree of some people like, say, Dr. Jeffrey Bunzer. Who's a legend in this space. Now, what I do find is, with the experimentation I'll show you in the video, that it is quite fascinating and quite powerful how this text-based prompt can actually come up with the Arduino sketches is what we're after. Also, you see trundling by now is some footage of the gorgeous cumbrous Toltec railway that me and my family had the pleasure of going on whilst we're in the United States later in 2023 when we're over there. So we had the pleasure of riding it from Chama, New Mexico to Antonito, and oh my goodness, it's just an absolute beautiful part of the world, and the railway was stunning and the people and the staff were fantastic. So just comment below. So I'm thinking about, I've got a lot of footage there of my trip, and also I rail fanned it the following day and chased the train, and also I've got some footage of the following day where we rail found it probably half the distance up to the highest peak that it goes to. Now comment below if you want me to do a video on it. As I said, I've got lots of footage, and I'm thinking of putting a narrow gauge on my railway, and I'm going to probably use some of these ideas that I got from the cumbrous Toltec and also the Durango to Silverton railway. So what is ChatGPT, or what is artificial intelligence when it comes to ChatGPT? So according to the interweb, ChatGPT is a natural language processing tool. It uses artificial intelligence, or AI, and machine learning technology to generate responses to user text inputs. It means you can get access to a super smart chatbot trained on a huge set of data. What does all that mean? Your guess is as good as mine. In short, take you over to the interface, what we've got here, and I will step you through this Arduino sketch very, very quickly. I've had a quick play around with it, and it is really cool and easy to use. All right, so what we'll quickly do now is we'll put in a quick sketch, and then we'll transfer that over to the Arduino Uno that I'm using, and I'll just show you how it works. So all it is in the bottom of the screen here, it says message ChatGPT. So what all you need to do is, I'm going to say, please write an Arduino, if I can spell Arduino, sketch with Uno R3, which is what I'm using, of a communication tower warning light using one red LED. All right, so basically what you're asking it to do is, we're asking it Arduino, so you got to be quite specific how you're going to write this. The Arduino, and obviously the Arduino is a little bit different, so we're looking to have the pin classification, or the pin outs. So we're using an Uno R3, and I want to replicate a communication tower warning light, the one that sits on top of the tower and blinks. So we push the little upward arrow, and that is in real time how quickly it does this. So sure, below is a simple, so this is what ChatGPT writes back. Sure, below is a simple Arduino sketch for a communication tower warning light using one red LED. So that's pretty well paraphrasing what we just put in there. This sketch will make the LED blink at regular intervals, simulating a warning light. So that's exactly what I want to do. Yes, could you probably write this yourself? Yes. Do I have the time to actually learn Arduino? Not really. I love Arduino, however, I don't have the time or really the inclination to learn how to actually write it properly. So what it tells us in the sketch are, so the LED pin is on pin number 13, which is connected to the onboard LED of the Arduino R3. So there's a little test LED on there as well. In the setup, the function will set the LED to an output, which is what we want. And in the loop function, we repeatedly turn it on and off. So what the loop does, it's just going to keep siphoning through, or cycling through, until you cut the power to it effectively. So it even goes one step further. You can upload the sketch to the Arduino, which I won't show you to do. There's plenty of videos out there how to do it using the IDE Arduino software. So you can upload the sketch using the Arduino Uno R3, and the LED connected to pin 13 will blink as the warning light. If you don't want to connect it externally, make sure you connect the positive longer leg to pin 13 and the negative to the shorter leg to the ground, an appropriate resistor. So obviously the big one there, it's not telling you what resistor, but use some sort of resistor. I'm using around 1,000 ohms, I think. So let's go over to the bench very, very quickly, and I'll show you how this works. PCBWay offers a variety of services ranging from PCB production and assembly to 3D printing, CNC machining, in a variety of materials. If you do not have the correct tools for the job, you can quickly upload your Gerber file for a PCB and press enter and get a quote in no time at all. Then select your material, finish and other post-processing customization like PCB assembly, where all the components are added. If you are new to PCBs, their professional review team will review your file and notify you once they are good to be manufactured. This makes PCBWay a good option for your projects. Check out their awesome services in the link below and their offer to my viewers who support this channel. Alright, so up on the screen here we have the very, very simple Arduino sketch for the communication tower. This is what we'll call version number 1. So this is just going to flick the light on for a second and then turn it off. Turn it on, turn it off. That's as simple as it gets. So we need to connect the anode of the LED to pin number 13. So sorry it's a little bit dark over here because I've just got it ready for... So we're on pin number 13, which is up here. And then the resistor, dropping resistor I'm using is a 1K resistor. So what we're going to do, all being good, we're just going to push the upload button and you'll see some lights dancing here. The LED even lit up there as well. And you can see here our communication light going on and off. Alright, so what we'll quickly do is pull that aside. So then, as I spoke of, I asked it the same question and it came back to me saying, yeah, we'll slightly change the sketch, but we'll do a more realistic fade in and fade out, not just a totally turn on and turn off. So let's go and copy that sketch. Let's quickly bring it over to the Arduino, get rid of that, copy and paste in. We'll do an upload. And we're not working. Okay, so what it's actually done, it's changed my LED pin from 13 to 9. So let's just pull that pin out and go to 9. And you can sort of see how that just fades in and out a little bit more. I think that's really, really nice. So you can play around the intensity of that if that's what you want to do. And also the delay on that also. So I like that sketch. That's quite nice. Be able to play around with the brightness of that LED a little bit, which what you can do. And also the delay doesn't stay off quite long enough maybe. Tell me if I'm wrong. Put in the comments below from your part of the world what you've observed with your communication towers. So here's the next experiment I did. So up the top here I've got in the description. Now I've already had to play around with this because this one took a little bit of manipulation. So very, very simply I wrote, write me an Arduino R3 script using an LED to simulate lightning. So obviously it goes off and it says, yep, no worries, and it comes up with that. But the trouble I had with the LED didn't work. So in on pin 13 the LED sits, and it was meant to have some sort of random delay between half a second to a second of on time. So then I've put in very LED not working, then talking about wiring and all that. So it's quite fascinating to actually have a read about it. It tries to help you as best it can to problem solve, and that's really good. So then I found out the LED works when I press the reset button. So the reset button on the board of the Arduino. So then it came up and said, okay, let's try modifying the sketch. So this is the first sketch here, just sort of sitting there so we can actually see it. So I'll just drag and drop that code in. What we'll do, we'll quickly bring an inset here, and I'll just quickly upload the sketch. Okay, so what we got here, we've got the LED that just sits here. We've got the dropping resistor, so that's a 1K resistor. We've got a disregard my colouring. So up here we've got the ground bus here that goes to the ground of the Arduino, and I've got a positive bus which I'll show you what I'm looking at doing later on in this video regarding the scaling this sketch up. So what happens here, we'll now upload the sketch. You can see it up here, the LED's just dancing around on the screen. You can see it's all done, upload is finished and verified. So now, just to let you know, we've got, it sort of tells you, so integer LED pin on pin 13, they're all numbered here. That's pin 13, and now you can see the randomness of the lightning there. So you probably could play around with the delay time and all that, but I won't do that on this occasion. Alright, so the next thing, as I said, we're going to look at using NeoPixels. So they are just a version of an LED, but they actually are addressable. So in the line of, say, the ones I'm about to show you got 8, so let's say addresses 1 to 8 effectively. There's some really good videos out there. I know exactly how they work, but I'll leave that for the more experts. All this is more showing is the ChatGPT and AI and how you can use it to create some reasonable sketches for Arduino for our model trains. So NeoPixel. So the NeoPixel is the chipset is a WS2812B, and the big one is you'll need to add the Adafruit NeoPixel library. Now I've done that in a previous video, how to do that, but I won't touch on that again. I will link below to that video where I do that. So all it's done, it's gone away and done its code again. It's a little bit more complicated, this time, because it now involves bringing in a library which helps activate the LEDs effectively. So you can see LED on pin number 8 and LED count is, LED on pin number 6 and LED count is 8, because that's what I asked it to do. So we'll now go in and we'll upload that sketch. You can see it's doing its thing. Writing to the Arduino, and it's as quick as that on occasions. Alright, so what we'll do, we've uploaded the sketch for the 8 LED, or so 8 NeoPixels. Now, as you can see we go on pin 6, so we need to find pin 6. So these are just that was just off camera. So these are just the connections. So we've got a ground, we've got a VIN in, or a positive effectively, and then you've got this one here which is the data line. So let's go and find pin 6, and you can see, so let me turn these lights down a wee bit, turn them right off. You can see how they're firing off a little more with a lot more intensity. So I actually personally like that. So what I'm going to do now, oops, not quite sure what I did there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add another 8 to the string, and then it'll just randomly go and do it. So just bear with me for a sec. So we'll go back to the desktop computer here. So all I put in is, so when you ask ChatGPT to do its thing and make the code up as it's done, it gives you a little rundown on how it's going to work and how to connect it up. So the next question I've asked, or next statement I've said, can now add 8 more NeoPixels. So you see you send it off, and then it's now got 16. So what we'll do, we'll now quickly grab all that. Now you're probably wondering why don't you just push copy code? There's a copy code button on there. Copy code button just there. Sometimes I find that doesn't actually copy all the code for some reason, so I'll just go and drag and drop it. So you go into the Arduino IDE, delete what we've got, and then upload. So now you can see it's randomized between the 2 banks of 8. So I think that's pretty cool how that does that. So within the code you can go in and change the colors. So this is more of a pure white or white color, as you can see. So you can see, let's bring up the code again quickly. Now you can see there 255, 255 brings you the white color. So what you can actually do with those NeoPixels is you can, so basically what you can do, this is just what I've called RGB color coded chart. So what's going to give you pure white is what we've got. It is the 255, 255 red, 255 green, 255 blue. And from there, all you do is you can either, there's various versions of this online, you can pull this around, or there's a particular color you know the code of, you can just chuck it in here straight away. So that's kind of cool if you want to make probably the lightning a little bit more bluish, bit more yellow tones in there as well, potentially. So that's a little bit of fun doing that. So the other project I quickly looked at doing was, I asked it to, can you write me an Arduino code using the Uno R3 for a railroad crossing using 4 flashing LEDs and an MP3 player with infrared sensors turning on and off. Now, I'm still trying to work this one out. I don't think my prompt is all that specific enough. So it gave me a code to start with. It turned on LEDs, but it wouldn't turn it off, and vice versa. So I've yet to do the sound side of things because I can't get the infrared to work properly yet. So, and then what you can actually then ask it to do, even though this on didn't occasion, you can say, can you draw wire connections with schematic? So it can't actually do that, but what it does, it actually lists all the components off, what LED goes to what pin and everything else. So that's pretty cool how it sort of lets you do that. So you can see it's gone through various iterations there with the MP3 player as well. Then it got to a point where I just asked it to take the MP3 out at this point, just so we can try to get it to work just with the infrared. I could get the LED to turn on okay. So basically what happens, the train came from, say, from a left to right. So infrared number 1 was at the left, turns on. The IR or the infrared turns on. The LEDs turn on. The train continues going across the crossing, and infrared detector number 1 turns off. LEDs still stay on. Now what's meant to happen is it goes past the next infrared number 2, and as soon as it activates that, It's meant to count down a certain amount of time, so it gives it the illusion of the train clearing the grade crossing or the railway crossing there, and it meant to turn off. But I couldn't get it the second IR to work with ChatGPT. I have got a previous video where Dr. Bunzer wrote a sketch for me, and that all works beautifully. But as I said, this video is more about the AI and how you can put prompts into the program to see it to get you to write the code. So that's a work in progress, but I think it's more to do with the way I'm writing the prompt, not so much ChatGPT's lack of knowledge, so to speak. It's more my lack of knowledge. Now, that's the end of the video, so thanks for watching. Like always, I have 3 questions. So number 1 is, as I said in the introduction, this is a very, as I said in the introduction, this is probably a controversial topic, the use of AI. It's obviously going through its various iterations and the legalities behind it in the world right now, but I'm purely just using mine just to give me ideas and how I've used it in the model railroad sense. So the question I pose to you, and please comment below, is would you consider using ChatGPT or others? There is other search engines out there, so to speak, in doing what I've just done. Please comment below. If not, that's fine. I'd also be interested in why you think it might be an issue with it, or ethically an issue with it. Number 2, if AI ChatGPT is something that you would consider and you've never used, or you are using it, or another search engine or another AI based product, please comment below what you're finding and maybe the prompts you're using to achieve what you want to do, or other things within the model railway realm that we might be able to learn from each other. And number 3, like always, if I could have done this better, if some of the prompts I'm using that in your experimentation are much better than mine, or a bit more specific to get what you want, particularly that pesky little crossing that I alluded to in the video, please reach out to me. Also, if you could consider clicking on my Patreon link, putting these videos together. Yes, the actual platform is free, but all the technology that goes along with it and all the products that I use are all paid for my own. Yes, I do have a sponsor that does help me out with that, but I still use above what I'm getting from them to do what I need to do, and I'm always finding new ways to try to make myself better and my modeling and my videos better. And that normally comes down to using some better technology, which I'm slowly getting to. So please consider my Patreon. Every little bit helps. So as I said, that's the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe. Click that little bell icon to be notified of upcoming videos. Support us on Patreon. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at Model Railroad Technique.